Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here. Welcome to episode 89 of In Focus Friday. Last week we had a look at the Niue Island turtle, the big chunky monkey silver 2-ounce turtle. Very interesting coin, one of our personal favourites here in the Backyard Bullion household. Absolutely love it. If you haven't checked it out, please do go have a look. It seemed to be very popular in last week's episode. The link is down in the description below. Now there was no vote last week, and that's because we're going to be having a look at this very cool 1-ounce gold Britannia. Now there will be a vote in today's episode, so make sure you stick around to the end of the episode and catch what you want to see next time. Every vote counts, so make sure if you want to see something in particular that you cast your vote for it. Now today we're going to be looking at an ounce of gold. What better thing to do on a Friday afternoon than have a look at an ounce of gold here on YouTube. Now this is the latest pickup which I've made for my long-term pension stack, and a lot of you out there who've been following the channel for a while have probably heard me talk about my pension stack before. I'm looking to convert a lot of these metal investments into gold over time, so this is a straight up gold addition and gold pickup to that pension stack. It is something which I'll be holding on to for a good old 25, 30 plus years, and then obviously as the time comes in that future to liquidate it, we will look to do so. And when I say liquidate, I don't necessarily mean melt, of course, I mean look to sell it and release the assets. But it is a very cool coin. I picked it up from Atkinson's Bullion, who's probably one of the forefront bullion dealers here in the UK. They have a lot of very good coins on offer, and they have a very good pre-owned section as well, which is where I picked this particular coin up from. Now I was looking at that time to pick up an ounce of gold as part of that pension planning that I'm doing, and I was perusing the pre-owned section, and I saw this coin flash up at what I thought was an incredibly reasonable price for what it is, considering it's a slightly older version of the Britannia. So I picked this up at a very good premium over spot. It wasn't particularly expensive. I think it worked out about 4% over spot, which is absolutely fine by me. It is a spot price relative coin for me. It's not something I'm looking to hold as a numismatic coin. It's something, as I said, that I'm going to be holding for 30 plus years, and that's one of the reasons why I'm holding it with my bare hands. I've got my fingers out touching the rim here. It's not necessarily something I'm banking on making a large premium in numismatic value. Of course, that's a lovely addition, and one of the things which I really do look for when I'm buying kind of bigger denomination gold coins like this. It's got potential to grow as a numismatic coin. It looks great. It's got some appealability as it's a nice big chunky 1-ounce gold Britannia with an intricate, nice design. And also it's got a little bit of a desirability factor because it will have a lower mintage than a lot of other sort of smaller denomination gold coins. So perhaps one day it will grow some value in premium, but I'm not banking on it. It's a nice low premium coin which I've bought to hold for a long time and invest as a gold only coin. That said, it is a very attractive coin. Let's talk about the design for a little bit. So the Britannia, no icon represents Britain and British coinage more than Britannia. It was on the copper pennies from the Victorian era and longer than that as well, and it's just something which is iconic. Of course, silver Britannia is very popular, very common items as investment coins for one reason, and that is because they are capital gains tax exempt, which is obviously a really big plus when you're investing in metals for a long time. And here you go, £100. That is the key thing to look at for any British coins. If they're an actual denominated coin, they will be capital gains exempt. This particular design was designed by David Mach, I believe his name was. I'm reading off the Royal Mint website. And it's a very distinctive modernistic look at the kind of Britannia. Now we saw last year in 2017 that really ugly Proof Britannia come out, which was supposed to be ultra modernistic, and it really didn't look good in my opinion. This, however, in my opinion, looks fantastic, and I think this is how a modern Britannia interpretation should look. You've got the old school look of Britannia kind of in the background. You've almost got this kind of ghostly look and feel of the flag hovering in front and behind Britannia herself. So I think it's an incredibly well crafted design. It looks fantastic. Britannia looks regal and brilliant. The wavy parts of the flag kind of like it's furling in the wind, and even when you kind of move it in and out of the light like that, it looks like it's almost blustering in the wind next to Britannia. So I think it's a very well executed design. It looks absolutely sublime, and it's one of my favourite kind of Britannia style designs. And that's one of the things that drew me to this coin. The design is great, but it also harks back to that time when these coins, when the Britannias, when the 1-ounce silver and the 1-ounce gold Britannias were designed differently each year. There was a period, I think, from like 2007 or 2006 to 2011 or 12, where each year the design was different and it looked fantastic. And I think as a set, they will look amazing when they're all collected together. but it's only recently that we've seen that kind of standing Britannia with the sunburst background behind her being standardised and used. So I'm hoping maybe the Royal Mint one day will change up that design again for some of their latest releases. But nevertheless, I have backdated to get one of these because it was very pretty looking indeed. Now, one of the other cool things about this coin and others from its era is that it is not fine gold. It is not 999 gold. This is 22 karat gold. And that's interesting in its own right. It's something that the Royal Mint used to do with these silver Britannias as well as the gold Britannias. And these gold Britannias have been going since 1987. So we saw last year the 2017 30th anniversary Britannia, which was that standing sunburst Britannia with the little trident privy mark on it. But they've been going since 1987, and they've been in 22 karat gold since then until 2013. Now, very interestingly, the 1987 and 1988 versions of the 1 ounce gold Britannias were made with copper as the alloy of the other remaining part of the other 2 carats of the gold, so to speak. And then after that, it was made with silver. So this particular coin is 91.67% gold, and the rest is silver. So it's very interesting to know what, if any, difference there might be between the different alloys. So maybe one day, if I can find one for a good price, because I'm sure that an older coin like that will hold fairly decent premium, I'd love to pick up a 1987 or 1988 gold Britannia and then have a look at the potential differences that you might be able to see in toning of the gold, because copper alloyed gold and silver alloyed gold will have a different look to them, which would be very interesting. And then of course one day it'd be very nice to be able to present all 3 different alloys side by side so we can see the difference between them. But yeah, so I think that's a really interesting part about this coin. Of course, being 22 karat gold means it's a lot harder wearing. Not that I will be kind of having this out and holding it lots, but obviously I'm holding it out here like this today. If I were to accidentally drop it, the chances of it getting a big old ding or dent in it are significantly less than a pure gold coin, because as an alloy it is harder and more hard wearing, which is obviously very interesting to look at. So we haven't really talked about Queenie on this side. Queenie's here in all her glory with Ian Rank Broadley's portrait of her. This is a very, very famous portrait. It's very common here in the UK. It's probably the most recognised portrait of the Queen on coinage, and it looks great in this lovely 22 karat gold form. Really does. The hair kind of stands out brilliantly, the crown, and Queenie just looks great in all her majesty in gold. So yeah, all in all, very interesting pickup. I'm very happy with it. I think the most important thing though for me is that it is kind of locking away some of that wealth for the future. It's preserving that wealth for the future, for that pension stack. You know, it's very nice indeed. If any of you are watching this and want to find out more about kind of capital gains tax exempt items, I'd highly recommend you have a look at the .gov website. I'll put a link down below, but that capital gains exemption is so important, certainly if you're looking to invest in gold over 30 years. You know, bought this for a relatively low premium over spot right now, so it was around about, I think it was about £970. It was when I bought it right at the sort of dip of gold price before it started going up, when we heard that in news about no sort of rate rises. And you know, if in 30 years time gold, let's say it goes to £4,000 an ounce, just one coin might make you £3,000 in numbers profit, which obviously is going to really eat into a capital gains tax allowance, if that even exists in the future. So to have this as an exempt item is really important to diversify your stack and have those items in there as kind of that core, and that's what I'm looking to do. But anyway, I start to ramble about the coin. I love it. I think it's great. It's why I've kind of started talking about it a lot more in this particular video rather than a normal episode of In Focus Friday, where I kind of just do 7 or 8 minutes looking at it, because it is very cool. It deserves to have a good old look at it. Anyway, that is the Britannia. Love to know your thoughts on it. Love to know your opinions on it. If you've got some, let me know. If you're inspired to pick up any, also let me know as well. Now, returning items from a couple of weeks ago, we've got the Increase Maple Leaf, which is an interesting one to talk about, because I'm not overly enamoured by that coin, and it'd be very interesting to find out what you guys think as well. Then we have the Prospector Gold and Gems 1 ounce poured bars. Those are very pretty looking, and I'm surprised they haven't been getting more votes than they have. And then the last one, the newest item, is this Bull and Bear round. Now, I showed these in a video a couple of weeks ago, and got a lot of questions about them, so thought it would be a kind of cool forum to show them and talk about them a little bit more. So if you'd like to see any of these items, please do vote down in the comment section below. Otherwise, if you haven't put a thumbs up on this video yet and you liked it, please make sure that you do and share it through any social media that you have. That would be very helpful indeed. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. I do an episode of In Focus Friday every Friday, and I have 88 other episodes in my playlist, so if you want more, please do go and check that out. Otherwise, all that's left for me to say is I hope that you all have a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much for watching, and please make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.